It's not a good time to be a politician in Somerset, and if you're an ex-politician who now runs the Environment Agency, you're going to be on the wrong end of an awful lot of anger. Such was the fate of the former Labour Cabinet Minister Chris, now Lord Smith, today. He was there to reassure residents that everything possible was being done about the floods. But such was the bitterness hurled at him that a visit by the Prime Minister, who arrived by helicopter a little later, passed off almost unnoticed. Our Home Affairs correspondent Andy Davis is in the Somerset village of Huntworth tonight. Andy.
Earlier in the week, we had Prince Charles here donning his wellies and taking a tour of the levels. Today, the VIPs were coming in thick and fast. First, the boss of the much maligned Environment Agency, Lord Smith. Then all of a sudden, the Prime Minister appeared, promising in time-honoured fashion that lessons would be learned. All too late, of course, for the people of the village of Moorland.
Negative, this is moorland.
Moorland on the Somerset levels this morning. In the midst of it all, a solitary, pristine lawn, an outpost beyond the rows of abandoned homes, and a village visibly diminished by this creeping, suffocating flood. Late last night, they sent in the Marines, but the flood defences couldn't withstand another night of rain. Another enforced exodus followed, and 60 more residents, we were told, were evacuated overnight. By dawn, we managed to get into the village, courtesy of a local builder's digger, then dumper truck. Well, we were here 12 hours ago, and this stretch of road going through Moorland, we could walk. Now, as you can see, it's probably about a metre deep here. Flood defences completely breached. The helpline now as redundant as the pumps they would soon switch off. The defences as threadbare as the flag above them, and another couple, suitcase in tow, utterly forlorn, utterly exhausted.
We woke up this morning and it's about 2 feet.
Yeah,
2 feet.
2 foot right through the house. So
3 feet deep in some places.
And the emotions you were feeling, Lorna, when you walked out of the door this morning?
Well, crying. I'm just shattered. I can't say any more.
This is an image which sums it all up, really. A line of sandbags erected in hope, but ultimately useless. And as you look around, you do get a real sense here that the battle to defend this village from the flooding is over. Some are staying, though, a few dozen, one of whom expressed his contempt for the chairman of the Environment Agency, Lord Smith, visiting the area today. You know Lord Smith is around.
Where's he going to go today? He can't get anywhere, can he? Unless they drop him by helicopter down here, and a few of us residents, we'd love to have a word with him.
What would you say to him?
Oh, I can't repeat it, I'm afraid. He wants to see the devastation that he's caused.
That's a view very much shared by the man who gave us a lift in this morning.
They don't seem to have any organisation, you know. I think my little grandson could have done a better job. Like I say, the men on the ground, perfect, but the men at the top, they can't organise a piss-up in a brewery.
But as the helicopters circled overhead, the man at the top, Lord Smith, had managed to organise a meeting in a visitor centre. It was a few miles away, and he would emerge to declare that dredging of 2 local rivers would begin shortly.
I can absolutely understand the distress and the concern that local people have, and the sort of weather that we've been seeing over the course of the last 2 months has thrown more water at the Somerset levels than it's ever experienced before.
Lord Smith, one question if I may. Are you embarrassed by what's happened on the levels? Because a lot of people we've spoken to here think you should be. No response on that one as he continued on his tour. And then up, somewhat unexpectedly, popped the Prime Minister, a mile from Moorland, on a flooded farm.
There are lessons to learn. One of the big ones is that the pause in dredging that took place from the late 1990s, that was wrong, and we need to get dredging again. And I've said, when the water levels come down and it's safe to dredge, we will be dredging to make sure that these rivers and these ditches can carry a better capacity of water. There are lessons to learn, and I'll make sure they're learned.
We need to get dredging, says the PM. They've been saying that around here for quite some time now.